Hi, this is your girl T with Rockafellas Barber Shop, located at 1733 Babcock in San Antonio, Texas. Whether you're looking for a haircut, a shave, braids, dreads, weaves, color, we do it all here at Rockafellas. You can hit me up at 210-884-9046. That's for call or text. And on Facebook and Instagram at Takesha Williams. That's TAKESHIA William. And you're listening to us now on I Am Refocused Podcast on iHeartRadio.
You are listening to I Am Refocused Podcast with your host, Shemaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
Hey guys, this is I Am Refocused Podcast, and today is Thursday. You know what time it is. We're at Rico's Barber Shop, Rockafellas Barber Shop. First name Rico, last name Rodriguez. Make sure you come by here and get your haircut. If you're not in San Antonio and you plan to come to San Antonio, this is the spot you want to come. Quick list, shout out to our sponsors. We have Bebe McClinton, Sports Speed and Conditioning, allsportsfitness.net, and of course Rockafellas Barber Shop with Rico Rodriguez and Miss Kim, River City Donuts. You want some fresh donuts, make sure you go there and support her. Today we have a nice, dope, fresh episode. Two entrepreneurs in the house.
Fresh.
Dope fresh.
Dope
yeah, I know. That's a little slick, I know.
Y'all see the hat?
Yeah. But we got...
okay.
We got Miss... one and only, the Queen. Yeah, I call you the Queen.
The Queen.
B. Michele. Coach B. Michele. And then we got Mr. Heavyweight.
Come on.
Entrepreneur.
Come on.
Undefeated.
What's up?
Champion.
You already know.
At least on this show, he's a champion.
That's right.
Mr. Jordan McCook.
I thought you were talking about Rico.
No.
Oh, Rico too, man. I
don't want no
Rico
trouble.
Too.
No trouble.
Rico's a champ too, man.
Right.
They're equally champs. But man, B. Michele and Jordan, man, say hi to folks, man. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? It's been a while, maybe a month or so.
Yeah.
I miss my time here.
So starting out the show, man, this is going to be an entrepreneurship/life coach theme today. I'm going to start out ladies first, B. Michele, and then Jordan Cook. Just jump right in.
All right.
Let's start out right now with life coaching. Because B. Michele, you've been doing this live thing on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's more of our business. It's not our business. I don't tell people to do with their life. But I will tell you what to do with your business.
We can stick with that. Life coaching and business.
Yes.
So,
I like it. Yeah, so I don't tell you what to do with your personal life. Because, hey, Lord knows this is a struggle over here. But I can definitely tell you what to do with your business.
Let's start with that. Let's do some coaching moments right now.
Okay.
Business.
Talk to the entrepreneur, man. Let's give them a pep talk.
All right, so here's the thing. Did we talk about the 10 Commandments?
No. Let's get
Take them to
that.
church.
So we haven't talked about the 10 Commandments. Okay, so
And we're not talking about Moses, right?
no, we're talking about the 10 Commandments of business. Yes.
Come on.
So, and honestly, I should have them really committed to memory by now, but we'll just talk about like a couple of them. Cause I got some pet peeves, like for real, with our entrepreneurs. Like I'm so serious with
Somebody make that list.
Okay, so the first commandment is thou shalt not, N-O-T,
Capital.
shall not pretty much start a business or do business without a business license.
Ooh.
Mainly an LLC.
Okay.
Like, honestly. So
Got that. Check.
like, that's just all kind of wrong. And I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. Because as an entrepreneur, if you're really serious about growing your business, you need an LLC, number one, to protect yourself and to protect your business. Because if anything was to happen at your location with a service that you provided and somebody decided that they wanted to take action against you, you really want them to sue your company and not you personally.
Right.
Because they're at that point, they pretty much have access to all of your personal money, anything you own, versus it being your business.
Right.
And so even also tax-wise. So having an LLC definitely gives you a lot of tax perks, just depending on how you have your company set up. So it's just it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's just the right thing to do, honestly, if you're really going to be serious about starting and growing your business.
All right.
Definitely you get a DBA. So a DBA is like saying, okay, I'm going to do business as. So like how for myself, I changed the name of our LLC. So my LLC name was B. Michele Events. Well, we changed to B. Michele Enterprise LLC. But under that, so in the state of Texas, every state is different. So you may have to check out your state LLC laws. But in the state of Texas, you can DBA up to 20 businesses under your LLC. That's a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I got like 5.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can DBA up to 20 businesses under your LLC. So our umbrella is B. Michele Enterprise. And so I have B. Michele Events is now DBA'd under there. Coach B. Michele is DBA'd under that umbrella, as well as B. Michele Professional Services and a few other things.
Praise the Lord.
I get DBA happy sometimes.
Got 20 though, right?
She got money.
I got like 5.
That's what I hear.
I got 5.
She got money.
Hey, I'm trying to get that $1 million status. So I'm not even going. We're not even gonna play no games. We're gonna start with 6 figures though. So we're gonna hit that 6-figure mark this year.
Praise
We
the
working
Lord.
on it. Praise the Lord. I need all of y'all to pray on that together. The whole world,
I feel
all
it.
the listeners.
That's right.
But no, like honestly, so it's just good business practice for you, and it's a protection for yourself. Our other so the other one that is another pet peeve is thou shalt not.
Wait, hold on. Time out.
It's like 10. So I really do have like 10 commandments.
So are they commandments or are they pet peeves?
They're pet peeves that turned into commandments. So I'll tell you how it happened. So I was talking to. I'm just gonna be honest.
All right.
But these are real though.
Okay,
these are
real.
so real.
All right.
They're pet peeves because as a small business champion, I want to see other entrepreneurs grow and do the right thing. So it's a pet peeve to see, like, are you serious?
Right,
like, you don't
right.
take cash. I mean, you don't take debit or credit.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the other commandment, thou shalt not.
Right?
Don't take only cash. Should be only a cash business.
Right.
So I'm just going to put this out here in the world, in the podcast world. There are only 2 cash businesses in this world. And that's pimping and drugs. Those are the only 2 businesses in the world that run off of cash. Period.
They should pretty
Hey, so you're a
successful.
coach for a reason.
Pimping and drugs. Those are not that's not your industry. That's not your calling. That's not what you're doing.
Let's hope
you gotta
not.
You gotta pull out legitimate business.
Let's hope not.
Hey, they need to hear it. The truth hurts.
No, this is real though. Like,
That's real.
Hey, I'm not knocking my dope. I'm not. Hey, do you? But them is only cash businesses out here.
Right?
'Cause the weed man is not taking debit or credit for that dime bag.
But
He's
if
not
he
doing
did.
it. But if he did,
That's crucial.
he might need to step his
level
game
up.
up. Or she. Let me not be gender biased. Or she, because there's some females out here let me not corrupt this podcast.
It's okay. We're going to refocus right now.
But all I'm saying is that put yourself in a position to grow. So take debit or credit. As a barber, as a stylist, as a whatever it is you do. There's PayPal, there's Venmo,
Cash App.
there's Cash App,
Yeah.
there's QuickBooks. I have QuickBooks. QuickBooks has a swiper.
Yeah.
This
Like Square, they're Square. So it's like, if you can't be afraid to take debit or credit because you think something, like I've had people tell me, oh well, they might keep my money. Are you serious? So this is what we're doing right now in 2018.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So here's the thing, because you're leaving money on the table. I don't carry cash right now. If you look at my purse, there's probably $3 in there, 3 $1 bills.
Yeah.
At most.
Can I get them?
Sure, if you need them. Hey, if you need them, I try to bless anybody that I can. If you need them.
Charge
Send it this way.
300% interest.
So at best, the average person, I'd say, carries maybe 20. I mean, you got people that's just, it's normal for them to have a pocket full of money. That's what they do, old school. Hey, however, but your average individual does pretty much carry debit or credit cards, and if you don't accept that form of payment, you're risking the client walking out your door.
That's right.
It's true.
Like, real talk.
That's true.
I mean, even from down to bars, like a lot, and I'm really proud of a few places around here. Like, even when you go to different lounges and clubs, they actually let you pay with your debit card, and you can go to the bar and swipe, and they'll get the money. I mean, at least offer it. Like, have it in the building somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I number one, I don't carry cash because it seems to disappear. Like, sometimes I literally lose it.
Misplaced it.
Right. So that's why I said they're not necessarily, they're pet peeves only because I just want to be able to really it's interesting to see a person not do it and realize how much they could be possibly.
You noticed it in your own business, so it's some keys to success.
So that's thou shalt not run a cash only business.
Gotcha.
Check that out.
And I think what? Oh my God, there really are 10. I wasn't ready for this. I should have them all committed to memory because as much as
we can have a teacher.
As much as I talk about them, the other one was our thou shalt not. This is my other one that I really do like. Let me
make sure you have a planner.
Oh no! Okay, so it was definitely the top ones. Or the top one was about the debit and credit, cash only, the LLC,
right?
And we're gonna have to come.
One of them had to do with this, didn't it?
Oh,
branding, marketing.
Yes. Okay. There was. Well, it wasn't necessarily. It was. I think it was about graphic design, wasn't it? Yeah, I think one of them was about graphic design.
No more paint.
Oh, marketing material. Yeah, we did have one about marketing material. I'm gonna look at my list because I'm gonna come back and tell you the whole list before we're over. Before it's over, because I really do want to tell you about these commandments.
That's good stuff.
I'm gonna get them committed to memory though.
That's good.
I'm gonna tag Jordan in here so he can get in the ring.
Yes, come on, Jordan.
So you know. You are a go-getter. First of all, since it's your first time on the show, just give people a little background about Jordan McCook.
Well, I am Jordan Lee McCook, Jr. No, I'm not a junior, but I'm a barber / entrepreneur here in the city. I started cutting hair straight out of high school. Well, I started cutting hair when I was about 14, 15 years old, and that went into going to barber college. And just I don't shy away from the spotlight. I don't shy away from people, because at some point a lot of people tried to because I was so young and ambitious, tried to suppress me or just kind of keep me in a container. So now it's just who I am. I don't think I'm Hollywood or some kind of celebrity. I'm just being me, right? So I went to barber college and really excelled there. Really stopped worrying about what he say, she say, and I excelled and was able to brand myself, market myself to my best of ability, and reach out to as many people on every side of San Antonio as possible to let them know that I feel like I'm one of the dopest barbers San Antonio has to offer, and my clientele thinks so. And so I don't really worry about what he say, she say, whoever says. It doesn't matter to me. But so you talked about LLC, you talked about all that kind of stuff. So I am LLC. There's McCook & Co. Promotions Enterprise, and we are DBA'd currently. My one business is
that's good. That's what's up.
McCook & Co. Salon Studios, and we're located 12414 Nacogdoches Road, Suite 150, where we're doing our a whole lot of stuff there. We're doing our whole salon deal there. But right now I'm currently on a little tour. I'll be in Dallas and Arlington. I'm speaking. She's a life coach. I don't really speak.
No. I am a business and brand coach.
A business and brand coach.
Yes.
I am more so.
Shemaya, you see what you did.
I'm more so just my motto. My thing is touching more hearts than heads. So I want to touch your heart. I want to get you off the couch, and then you go see Miss Ma'am down the way. You know what I mean? So you can learn the specifics of how to be a professional. But I want to, I believe everybody has purpose, right? And a lot of people don't understand their purpose or need somebody to tell them, like, yo, you have a purpose. Like that same mundane experience that you've been living in life, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to settle for that. And so somebody like me, who they call me a firecracker, I go and I just ignite. So I'll be at Paul Mitchell. This year, the first quarter this year, I'll be at Paul Mitchell like 3 or 4 times. I'm going to Dallas, the Paul Mitchell there. I'll be in Milan, Cosmetology Institute, and I have a really big event going on March 4th at 12 noon to 2 o'clock. It's called Fading with a Twist. So we've done our own rendition of Painting with a Twist, where I'll be teaching branding, marketing, ultimately how to fade. Like I said, I don't believe I'm the GOAT, the godfather of this barber game or anything everything. I just feel like there are tips and techniques that I use when cutting hair that help me get there a little bit faster. And so I'm here to teach all the students and whoever wants to learn, my fading techniques. I put it like this, there's many ways to get to Africa. I just choose to fly by plane. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go on the boat, nor am I going to try and run across the water. And so I just, that's what's going to be going on. It's going to be an exciting time. The tickets are $10. You can buy them on Eventbrite. Just look up Fading with the Twist, and we're going to get it popping. You already know what it is.
And real quick, because people got to understand why I had you on the show today. How old are you, real quick?
I am 22 years old. I'm only 22.
Wow.
I'm only
years
22. Yeah.
old.
That's what's up.
And he has a mindset of a go-getter that's making things happen. I mean, the results is there.
Look, I didn't even have formal training on this. Like, I bumped my head so much, and so people like you are definitely needed to take us young bucks and be like, look, don't do this, do this. We all need the commandments. You know what I mean? So somebody who's ambitious, you just try and just do everything. But I didn't have any formal training, man. I just really just started and learned along the way, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for where the Lord is going to take me.
and let's dig deeper, because I'm going to ask you guys both this question, starting with Jordan McCook. Mm-hmm. When did the light switch come on when you realized I can do this?
Well, it started for me at Mama's house, in my bedroom, the house I grew up in. Mm-hmm. My mom told me there's an old movie, I believe it was a Sister Act, I believe it was, but it said, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
That's right.
That's a little saying they said there. And my mom taught us, she instilled in us that the world isn't going to give you anything. Anything that you want in life, you have to go out and get it. And so it just kind of like, because I saw all my friends in high school getting new cars. I'm talking about not just like new cars, but nice cars like Mercedes and Beamers. And I didn't have that. I just know all I had was work ethic. All I had was that grind mentality, but didn't have anything. And so my mom instilled that in me, when I was young, just sitting on the bed, and it just clicked one day. And I started listening to people like Les Miles. I started listening to E.T., the hip-hop preacher, and a whole bunch of stuff, and or other people, Will Smith, even Kanye. A lot of people don't like him, but I started listening to Kanye, just how you just be a misfit, just grind in your own individual way. And so I knew from then I couldn't go work a 9 to 5. I couldn't. College wasn't for me, just all my friends, we were going to play ball. Shout out to Vincent Taylor with the Miami Dolphins right now. I went to go play at OSU, and then later in the league, but that wasn't for me, and so when my mom told me that, I had to realize that my structure, my stature as a person, I wasn't made for the NBA, I wasn't made for the track, I wasn't made for the football field. I was made to do exactly what I'm doing today, and so that's when it all clicked for me, man.
That's what's up. And same question to you, Michele. I mean, it's kind of a review for people who heard your story, but when did that light switch come on for you when he's like, man, this is what I'm gonna do?
I'm not gonna lie to you, like, honestly, I spent the first about 15 to 18 years as an educator first. Wow. But I come from an entrepreneur family. Mm-hmm. So my mother, her sister, her brother, they're all entrepreneurs. So it's kind of like it was bound to happen. So I think after about year 11 or 12, I realized, okay, I enjoy teaching, but there's just more for me. I know that there's more out there. Then I got into event planning. Then when I moved over to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, aka Middle East.
She got money. She got money.
So when I went over there, and then I started, because that's how I kind of really got into. Shout out to Jamar Long. That was my mentor, Jay Miz. He was actually doing promo at a club in Abu Dhabi, and so we had a little situation. I was like, you know what, Bumpy, we're going to do our own thing. Mm-hmm. So I got with Jay, and he put us on. We had our first party. We had a mansion party.
See?
It was about...
I still don't have a party, man.
So we had our first party. It was a mansion party, and about, 150, 200 people came.
Not one.
Oh, she's stunned.
I'm just being honest. I'm just telling the story. So, and then it was like, so when that happened, we're like, okay, this was a free party, so we did the first one for free. Mm-hmm. So it was all you can eat, all you can, drink situation. Mm-hmm. It was like, okay, we can do this. So that's how it just kind of evolved. When I knew I was coming back to the U.S., I launched Be Michele Events. before I left Abu Dhabi. So I was like, okay, I know I'm going to do it. We're going to launch here and just going to do it. And so, like I was telling you the last time, it was definitely like different, because when you do business in another country, and we did end up doing events we had yacht parties, doing events for the
parties.
Yeah, we did yacht parties. And I get motion sick.
Yacht parties.
Stop it, Jordan.
I need to
Stop it.
step up, man.
She got much. She said, "Oh yeah, a mansion, yacht party. I'll be lucky to get on a canoe."
So it's like,
This your show now.
I know. Stop it.
And then you was in a castle, right?
Right. So, okay, mind you, I get motion sick, so I didn't really. The yacht parties was not my thing, because I get motion
Not my
sick.
thing either.
But they made me go, because I had 2 partners, so I would have to be there. But then that rolled into, so it evolved from the mansion party to the yacht party. So then we started doing themed events at the DoubleTree.
Right.
And so then I was like, okay, once I knew I was coming back, I was like, okay, let me really get this together. And I was like, because I enjoyed event planning. And honestly, I really want to just really plan events for people, for companies. But I figured I had to get to know people, because I moved here knowing 2 people literally in this city. So I'm in the sense of Jordan is like, I just know I gotta do this, and I'm just gonna take whatever. I'm just gonna get out there and do it. And so that's how I met you guys.
That right there, people listening right now, that is the key. If you heard, paying attention, you better take notes and listen to this episode again. If you're watching on Facebook Live, just watch it again, because here's the key. I want you guys to touch in on this. Action. Action.
Yes.
Action. Not thinking. It's okay to think positive. There's nothing wrong with thinking positive. But if all you do is think about it, but you don't get up and do something about it, you're going to be hating. Let's touch, well, not hating, but let's touch on competition. Because, because I want to help people out, all the listeners, all the small business owners.
Competition?
Let's talk about competition.
I need to go first.
Okay. I'll let Jordan.
Go ahead. No, but go ahead with your thing. I need.
Here's my question on competition.
Okay.
For both of you guys, I'm going to let B. Michele go first. Do you have competition? And depending on your answer, just explain your answer.
Okay, so this is a yes and no question about competition. Yes. So yes, there are other brand coaches out there. There are other business coaches out there. There are other people who print and do what I do. But they do it the way I do it.
Nope.
That is the key. That is what branding and building a business and finding your niche market, and that's what people have to understand, and that's what I tell all of my clients. It's about finding your niche. What do you do well? And you blow that thing out the water. What do you do well? And it just come back to, so yeah, there's competition, but I'm so immersed in my business.
You're not paying attention though, right?
I'm not paying attention. And that's probably, but that's a downside sometimes, because then I look up, I'm like, ooh, I should have probably saw that coming. But oh well, moving on to the next. So it's like, what do you do well in your industry? And how are you perfecting what you do well? So it's just like when I first got here and I looked and I did my research and I looked at other event planning companies. I said, so does weddings. This person doing kid events. This person. So it's like, okay, how am I going to make mine different? Because these people already established. I just got here. I only know 2 people. So I was like, all right, we just going to, number one, my name. So our company name is B. Michele Events. So that was the weirdest part in itself, because that's not my government name.
Go ahead.
And so people would look at my business card and be like, but your name is, but let's talk about it. But it became such a great talking point to where the city of San Antonio changed my name. And I was like, I roll with it like, this is great branding. I'm not even going to fight it. So now, yes, I am B. Michele to everybody. And it's okay, because like my government name, if I told it, it don't mean anything, because nobody knows her.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's cool. So I figured out what can B. Michele Events offer that these other event planning companies don't. And I was like, we need to make it full service. So I wanted, when my clients came to me, I didn't really want to have to send them out the door to go anywhere else. So we had caterers. I worked with, talked to a lot of caterers, got them on board. Photographers, teamed up with a lot of photographers that worked with my company. Anything that was event related, I made sure that I had them on the team. So that way it was an in-house deal, and everybody still made money. And so then it was like the printing thing came along like in 2015 because obviously doing the comedy shows and stuff. So when we added B. Michele Professional Services, which is the printing, it was like, okay, now we are officially like a full service event planning company, like 100. So anything you needed, it was like right here. And that wasn't happening anywhere else in San Antonio. And I looked and I went to people's websites and I called them.
Action.
Action. And so you have to put the work in. You got to do your groundwork and research and know your target market. If you don't take anything else away from this podcast, take that. Like, for real, like, know your target market, know where you are, know your clientele, know who your clientele is, you know, so you know how to serve them better. And that way you know what you're offering to them and how you're going to be different than the next person, because at the end of the day, that's what people are looking for. Number one, can you solve their problem, and how quick can you do it?
There you go.
That's good stuff.
What a great experience.
I rock with it.
And Jordan, how about you?
Big brother, ask the question one more time.
Competition. How do you see yourself competition? And depending on your answer, just in the details.
For sure. Competition. I love competition, man. It's a measuring stick. A lot of people shy away from competition or have a weird vision or perspective of competition. So to me, it's two sides of a coin, right? And I'm gonna try and be real brief. But there is the competition where you spend too much time focusing on the other person, or where you don't even know who you are. You know so much about the next barbershop or the next podcast or the next Instagram model, whoever it is, that you don't even know what you're good at. You know, or there's another side where you just hate on the next person, where you know it's a whole bunch of jealousy and envy about the next business, whatever it is. Nonprofit organization, whatever, you know, where you don't focus on yourself. And like I said, in both equations, the focus isn't the man in the mirror. You see what I'm saying? So you spend so much time focused on everybody else where you don't even know what you're good at, right? And so when it comes to competition, when it comes to I guess somebody else in the same market as you, or somebody, you know, anybody who could potentially be competition, I say, like she said, but know yourself, and I teach, when you're building a brand, you have to superimpose who you are into your brand, into your business, because God made you unique. There's nobody else on the earth like you, and so if you superimpose who you are into your business, that's already one step above the next person, because nobody has your testimony, your story, your journey. Nobody can tell your story like you could tell your story.
That is so true.
And so when people see M&C Studios, or when they see when they see McCook and Co, they know, like, even if there was another M&C or whatever Co, they know when they see McCook, when they see Jordan, I am superimposing who I am into my business. So I'm turned up like this all the time. Ask my man, he's with me at the house.
He got two phones.
You know what I'm saying? I'm turned up like this all the time. I am who I am, and it sells. You see what I'm saying? And when people feel like they're connected to who you are as a person and not just your business, that's your biggest marketing right there. That's the greatest marketing you have. When people feel like they're connected to who you are as a person, and not just, or what you as a person bring to the table, and not just, oh, here's some photos, or here's a flyer, here's this haircut, or whatever it is. But my clients love me because I'm touching their heart. Even if we're talking about basketball or whatever it is, I never want to leave them feeling like they didn't have an experience when they came and sat in my chair. You see what I'm saying?
No,
like,
you're right.
Outside of a dope haircut, because the haircut's gonna be icy. It's gonna be on point, you know. But outside of that, superimpose who you are into anything that you do, because God made you. There's even if you're twins, there's not another you. You see what I'm saying? Your fingerprint, everything is different about you. So I don't know. Let me get on myself.
You wanted to jump in? What's on your mind, B. Michele?
No, like, he is like so right, and I think that is, like I said, there's a lot. Definitely, what you listen to this podcast like 20 times if you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, because your brand is you personally and your story, and branding is about telling the story. And it's about how people feel when they interact with you.
That's right.
And just the same way, you know, people go and we share, hey, we got this, so and so got this sale, or we went to Macy's, we went to JCPenney, and just the way they'll talk about you that same way when you make them feel the same way they felt when they bought whatever they bought from Macy's or wherever they bought it from. And so, like, there's nothing else I tell people all the time is obviously find your niche and what you do well and put you into it. So honestly, even for me, for my brand, like, I try to make sure I do a lot of stuff different. And I try to connect with people as much as I can. Like, even when people send me a friend request that I don't even know, I send them a personalized message thanking them for the friend request.
Yeah.
And I send, like, pretty much I got like 5 to send out today.
Right.
You know, so, and even when people meet me, which is so funny because, like, I promise you, like, people don't understand. Like, I'm so probably so enmeshed and all up in my business that sometimes I don't know all these people and I be feeling bad when people see me because they're like, you're such a celebrity or this. I'm like, no, don't say it. like no, I don't want to be. Have a Kevin Hart moment. No.
Right.
But okay, at the same time, like, and I embrace the fact that a lot of people do know me, and I think your interactions, how you treat people,
that's true.
Definitely is about your brand. Like, I was just at Cheddar's with my brother for his birthday, and we just sitting down, and a girl walked past, and she was like, "Hey, B. Michele," and I was like, "Ooh." But I spoke to her, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking,
who are you?
And I wish I could have spoke.
In the back of her mind.
In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, who is she? Do I have met her before? Because I didn't want to be rude.
Yeah.
But obviously, I spoke to her, but I would have liked to have said her name.
Yeah.
Back when but at the end of the day, I realize a lot of people know me that I don't know, and it's okay. And it's cool though that she. This happens to me like all the time in Walmart, HEB, or wherever I am, and people are like, "Hey, B. Michele," and I'm just like, "Hey," and I want to get to know them, so I do try to definitely take time to interact with them, even if it's for a short amount of time, because people remember that. So even when I left, when my brother and I were leaving Cheddar's, she was kind of sitting on our way out, so I made sure I stopped by her table and I said bye to her. You know, and a few other extra words along the way, because that's what branding is, and that's what makes people connect with you, and that's what made people want to come and get business coaching, come and get printing, come and get their event launched, their brand launched with B. Michele Professional Services.
Absolutely.
Versus whoever else. And I'm not saying that, like, you always have options, but you go where you feel comfortable.
Sure.
And so, and to Jordan's point, is that you do have to put all of you and put your story out there. And just like people always ask me, well, where's the B and B Michele come from? Because if you know my government name, you'd be trying to figure it out. And so my mother's first name begins with a B. And so my middle name is Michele. So that's where the B Michele comes from. And so sometimes, but now people that's like my whole name now. And it's cool.
That's what's up. That's dope.
You just kind of, you take it. And I just have always been a proponent of just treating people the way you want to be treated, in all honesty, and deliver a great product. You're gonna mess stuff up. Trust me, I done messed up a ton of stuff, but it's how you go to fix it. It's your interaction after you made a mistake with a client or something happens. It's that moment after, and how you connect with them and what do you do to make them feel better about you making a mistake. So
let's dig into that a little deeper. I'll go with Jordan with this one. You can piggyback on that. When you have to get in that situation where you got to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
What are some of the steps you put yourself in process to correct it and just get back in the lane?
As far as what? What do you mean be honest with yourself?
In other words, like she was saying, like, say you made a mistake, or maybe you haven't met the goal you wanted to meet that month or that week. What's your thought process afterwards?
Well, I am me, right? Like, and I can only be the best me I can be. I'm not trying to be anybody else. And so that always brings me back to reality. The reality of it is, I don't care if you're Kanye West, Will Smith, all the greats, Oprah, I don't care. You're a human first. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what name you have. LeBron James, they make mistakes. You see what I'm saying? So even in them making mistakes, they have found a way to get back to, okay, I am me and I am really good at what I do because I devote and commit a lot of time to this. So let me just shake back real quick. So those are the steps I kind of go through in my mind. I just, realize first and foremost, I'm not trying to be the next man. I'm trying to be the best me I can be. And so as long as I'm content with the effort that I have given when I look myself in the mirror, I know, okay, boom, I can come back to reality and it's like, okay, even if I make a mistake. So So like cutting hair, right? So no barber, no haircut is perfect. Why? Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so that's another thing for me. When I'm in the shop, it's like, okay, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. They believe I'm dope. They believe I'm a really good barber. You see what I'm saying? So even if I make a mistake, like she said, have some kind of professionalism within yourself to say, humble yourself first and foremost. Humble yourself. Have enough humility to say, I made the mistake, and this is what I'm going to do to make it better. You see what I'm saying? And even, I mean, when I'm speaking, when I'm out, doing whatever, if I make a mistake or if I, like she said, when I encounter somebody and I may not remember their name or that experience didn't really go the way I planned it to, I make sure I always go back. I don't care if it's been days later. You reach out to them. If you have their contact info, you show back up to the school. Do what the next man is not willing to do. You see what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Wait a minute. Why he taking my stuff?
And you watch your live podcast.
He must have watched it.
Right? Do what the next person isn't willing to do. The hard work. When I talk about perseverance when I'm out and about speaking. When I was at OGA, I talked about perseverance, and it's basically doing the hard work after hard work has already been done, and so doing the grind work. I'm talking the sleepless nights after you just had a sleepless night, and so
the extra miles,
right?
It's
always absolutely. And so when I make a mistake, because they're going to happen, young entrepreneurs out there, I'm a young entrepreneur. You're going to make mistakes. The greatest of the greatest, all the presidents or the people on Mount Rushmore, whoever it is, have made numerous mistakes. The only person that walked this earth that didn't make a mistake, Jesus Christ. You see what I'm saying? That's the only person, but all of us other ones, relax, take a deep breath. You're going to make mistakes. Every owner, every president, every executive, every CEO, COO, you are going to make mistakes.
Preach.
I don't care who you are. And so that's how I approach people. That's how I approach my life. You're going to make mistakes in a relationship with your husband, your wife, your kids. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like this podcast probably isn't going 100% like you planned it in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's not perfect, but at the end of the day, we can only be the best we can be and show up that way every single day. And once you've done that, I mean, you win. You go to sleep at night, you win. That's a dub.
I love that. Michele, let's jump into this because that's really good. I really like that because I've been talking to like coworkers because I have some coworkers who want to do a side hustle too.
Sweet.
I'm still doing my little day job, but it's all good.
That's what's up.
But let's jump into this because we always get in discussion about having the same 24 hours as these celebrities, quote unquote celebrities and famous people. What's some of your advice you would tell to an entrepreneur who just feel like, well, it's not working?
Okay, so
they have that limited mindset.
Yeah. Well, that's where the problem is right there. It's limited mindset. So that's the first thing. Your mindset controls the rest of the journey. Honestly, your mindset pretty much controls the rest of your journey. So if you're really you're setting yourself up for failure when you're telling yourself you can't do it or you're having these hurdles. You always have to figure it out, make a way. I'll say this example, and I don't really, it's funny because I grew up in the hood, but I don't remember missing any meals.
Right.
I know that my mother wasn't balling, but I know I didn't miss not one meal.
Right.
I know that I had clothes.
Yeah.
And so you find a way to make it happen. In that. And that's in everything that you do. Even, when I first started this business, I feel like I'm a straight underdog coming to a new city, knowing two people, literally two, when I got off that plane. And coming to the point to where I am now, where, I'm mad that I don't know the person's name who spoke to me.
Yeah.
So it's you got to figure out a way to make it happen. Take a step back, look at your goals. First of all, our last podcast, not the one about cash flow, but the one prior to that, we talked about smart goals. You have to set smart goals for your business. Number one, that's attainable, measurable, time. Really go through the acronyms and really set your goals based on that, because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. So whatever it is you're doing, look at baby step it.
Yeah.
You could have told me 4 years ago that I'd be here.
Right.
Honestly, doing business and branding coaching, on podcasts, on radio shows, doing a huddle.
Yeah.
You couldn't have told me that 4 years ago because, it wasn't there. We was just trying to do events.
And you weren't ready for it.
Right, and I wasn't ready. And you're right.
Yeah.
I wasn't. That wasn't where I was at that time. So anybody that's struggling in their business, you just have to take a look back, look at your goals, set small attainable ones first, and build it from there. Because even when we added B. Michele Professional Services to it, it was, to be honest, that wasn't a goal. It was almost like I had to do it because I had clients that still needed stuff. The situation I was in wasn't working. I needed stuff for my shows. Let me figure out how to make this work. So I want to thank my mother.
Shout out, Mom.
Look, I want to thank my mother for all that hustle, because what I didn't get for her was sales. Like, my mother's very great at sales, but I said my personality sells. So I think that's I like being a good people person.
Shameless plug.
I don't know, being a good people person makes up for my ability to sell. Like, I don't like selling people stuff. That ain't what I do. But no, like, honestly, my mother, I take it back to my childhood, because I'm like, I know we didn't live in the best houses, in the best of anything, but yet I ate every day.
Yeah.
But we had support I had grandparents.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had good family support. And that's one of the things that's really crucial to entrepreneurship is support. And even if it's just one person, you need at least that one person on your team.
That mentor.
That's going to root for you no matter what, until that one person,
Jamar Dean.
Yeah, until that one person becomes 5 people, 2 people, and it grows from there. Because honestly, without support, you will quit. That'll be the number one reason pretty much why you quit.
Yeah.
Will be because of a lack of support.
And two, I think people get in isolation.
Jamar.
Right.
They feel like if I can't do it by myself, then no one else can help me.
But that's the other thing about it. I call them solopreneurs. That's not my new thing.
Lonelypreneurs.
So you're right, lonelypreneurs too. You know, you cutting up today. Lonelypreneurs, definitely, because it is lonely.
Yeah.
This life is not for everybody. It is not for everybody.
That's true.
Because the closer you get to the mountaintop,
it's hard to breathe.
It's hard to breathe.
Everybody,
and you up there by yourself. Like, real talk.
Ask that question one more time, Shemaya. Ask that question about the celebrities. Like,
we all have the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
So what's some of the things that keep you going?
Like she said, going up to that mountain. Like, I mean, without getting too spiritual, but God called Moses up the mountain first, right? Then Moses goes back down, and at some point in this whole walk with God or whatever, he starts calling everybody up the mountain, and everybody has that same 24 hours or that same opportunity to make it happen. And even if you don't have an opportunity to make it happen, it's coming.
Make one.
It is coming around the corner. You see what I'm saying? My pastor talks about putting feet on your faith. Right? You say you believe in something, or even say you don't believe in something. Say you believe in yourself. Well, walk it like you talk it.
Right. No, real talk.
Walk it like you talk it. You see? So, and I think a lot of people forget when we talk about celebrities. Celebrity means nothing more than fame.
Right.
People recognize you. People know who you are. But see, this is the thing. I want us to understand this.
I like that.
The reason people will spend all kinds of hundreds of dollars to go to a NBA basketball game is one word. Is because these people have committed enough time and focus and drive to being good at their craft, to where it's amazing, a sight to see. The Globetrotters or NFL players, whoever it is, they have dedicated enough time and committed enough time to their craft to where it's amazing to see LeBron James run up and down the court in like 3 seconds.
Right.
It's amazing to see him jump so high, and I mean, with his body structure, just dunk the ball like he does. It's amazing. So if you dedicate yourself to your craft, you are a celebrity. People will start seeing you that way. People within the city, and if you're looking for fame, you're looking for some kind of celebrity status, you'll never make it.
Right, because when you're looking for it, you're right. Because that's why I'm like, oh, don't call me that. But then I was like, okay, I realized I just have to embrace it because it is what it is.
If you're looking for it,
but like my everyday life is figuring out how I'm gonna take this business to another level.
Right.
It's not about 500 people, 500 more people noticing me.
Right.
It's about me building my business.
It's all about the craft.
I just happen to be in a people-centered business.
Right. It's all about the craft.
And just to your point about
template, right? There's no template for success, right?
There's no the template. There is a template. The template is number one.
Like a cookie cutter.
Yeah, the template is hard work. Number one is having a dream. It's having a dream. Number one, so like the ability to dream. Right. Some people don't even dream. So number one is having a dream that you know that, and taking the time to put the hard work and effort to make that dream come true. So that's the template.
Yeah,
it's work. Like I told you, like your mama probably saw me up this morning because I'm up at like 4:30. Yes, I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning trying to get a head start on these emails. Yeah. So here's the thing, y'all know E.T., right? Yeah. The motivational speaker.
The hip-hop preacher.
Is that what you call him?
That's what he calls himself.
Is it now? Yeah. Okay, so maybe I haven't paid attention to him. Like, I used to listen to his videos like all the time.
Right.
But one thing he says is that if somebody gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning and they outwork you, they deserve to take your spot.
Yeah.
So, but you're going to have to get up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to take my spot, to take my client. So in that sense, that it's hard work. You got to be willing, like he said. I tell my clients all the time, what are you willing to do that your clients aren't going to do or not doing?
Right.
Period. And put that work, that time, that effort to really build out your craft. So that's the template to success. Number one is the first thing is like be willing to put the work in, honestly. Number two is that you need some support and structure to what you're doing. And you need some haters. I'm gonna tell you why you need some haters. Because who loved Cat Williams is me. And that little bit, I forgot what tour he was on, where he said, if you got 5 haters, you need 10 more. And that's real.
Yeah.
Because what haters do, honestly, they kind of act as a really good motivator.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like, honestly. And I'm just going to be transparent here for a minute. It's like I had to realize that just this past week or so on several situations where people thought it was okay to go talk to say some unsavory things about me to my client. And I was like, and as I thought about it more, that's what's up though. I'm like, keep talking.
Free promotion.
Sit back and watch the show.
Get some popcorn.
Yeah. Because I realized, and I thought about Cat Williams, like really, if you got 5 haters, you don't have enough. You need like 10 or 15 more.
Right.
Because you need to keep them coming. Because they're like a little intrinsic motivation for you.
That's
to really keep you popping and keep you on your toes. Because I love the fact that you thought enough of me to go hate on me to my client.
Time out your date.
Exactly.
But to my client.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm cheering. Come on.
That's good.
Come on.
That's good.
Like,
I like that.
So it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, but you gotta have thick skin for it. And I will say this, I've developed it because I'm a true Cancer. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm definitely emotional.
Cancer kills.
Cancer, I know, right? I'm a true Cancer. We like very homely, loving, creatures. We get in our feelings sometimes, but this entrepreneur life, this solopreneur life, it'll thicken you up real quick.
Oh yeah.
And so that's one thing about it. Like, you do have to be able to take the criticism and take the good with the bad. So take the glory, take all the praise, and take the criticism.
That's true.
That come along with it. So yes, remember, I'm like Tiffany. I can't wait to have my Tiffany Haddish moment. Did you see her on Good Morning America?
I haven't.
And so when she has this book called The Last Black Unicorn. And so she had a little segment on there where she thanked all the people that bullied her and all her haters.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
Tiff.
That's what's up though. So yes, it's like you kind of need. Nobody really wants them. You don't really want them, but you need them. You just need them to keep you motivated and keep you popping.
And the way you acquire those,
it's by doing good stuff.
Is just work hard.
Yes.
Whatever it is that you're trying to get to. First of all, do it. Like, stop talking about it. Just do it.
Right.
Just do it. Like Nike. Just do it.
Like you are right about that. Like, for real, make make your own lane.
Right.
Like, really create your own lane. And it's like all the stuff that you're doing. And it's funny because I tell a lot of my barber clients, it's like, so what are you doing different that like if you feel like your clientele is slipping, or you feel like maybe you not getting the money that you should get for, you know, your services, what are you doing different to step your service up? Like even you may be in a shop, but what are you offering different as a stylist or as a barber individually? Like what experience? Like I need create an experience.
Yeah.
Then make a client say, all right, I'm going to get my hair done here because, I get to drink so-and-so. They always got, I don't know, they always got food. I don't know. Whatever experience. They always got donuts.
Yeah.
Rockafellas. They feed you over here.
That's right.
But I'm just saying, create the experience. And that's what helps, you know, number one, grow your clientele, but help you keep clients. Because I was telling another one of my stylist clients last night, I said, here's a way. I said, just make some coupons of free trims. Like something that's easy, won't cost too much. Make some coupons, give out a free trim, just keep them in your purse. So when you out meet people, give somebody, say, hey, come over to my salon, come get a free trim.
I got you.
You know, it's a great way for you to meet people. You talking, you get them in your salon. I say for the sisters with the natural hair, maybe give them a free steam.
Come on, sister.
Give them a free steam treatment.
I like where this is going because it makes me.
You gotta think outside the box within your lane.
You gotta invite them to the party, and your party is your brand.
Yes,
gotta invite them to the party.
Gotta invite them to the party. Yeah. Hence why we had a huddle at 7 o'clock every Tuesday.
Look.
And I'll be on it.
You can't just you can't just post it on the wall and hopefully people look at it.
Right.
You gotta, and touch on that, Jordan. What's some of the things that you find yourself doing to get people to your party?
I talk a lot.
There you go.
My big mouth, like Tupac said, my big mouth. I talk a lot, man. I'm talking to everybody. I mean, you can ask anybody I'm around. I'm the guy that talks. I'll talk to anybody, you know, because like Michele said, I'm selling myself, and it's not really even like a sell. I'm just being myself, you know. I really care about people, and so and it shows. It transcends a flyer. It transcends a Facebook post. It transcends Instagram. It really comes out, you know, when I do post that flyer. I really care about people, man. I really care about what you're going through. I don't care if you never sit in my chair, come get a haircut. Shout out to the barbers in this barbershop. They killing it right now. Shout out. But anyways, even if you never sit in my chair, I just want to I want to experience you, and I don't really always have what it is to pour into you, but sometimes I need to be poured into. Mom Duke said when I walked in here that I have an old soul, and I have an old soul because I don't mind. I'm the kid that'll sit. New name. Mom Dukes. I'll sit under the mentorship of the older generation and listen. I just posted a video a couple of days ago, but I'm talking about our generation needs to just tap into the fact that we need to just be humble and listen. Like we don't always have to talk so much. We just listen. And so, but whatever's inside is always going to come out. It's going to transcend, or it's going to come out when you post something. And that's just who I am. And so the support, the love, even if I don't get 100 likes, that one like that I do get, if I'm able to impact and touch somebody's life, then I'm winning. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to impact and change 100 and 200 and 300 people's lives, but what are you going to do? Are you going to be faithful over that one soul or that one? You see what I'm saying? The Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. And so we're talking about whatever you post online. If you let me get the more glitz and the glamour and all this kind of stuff because I only got 10 likes. Let me take it down. And you're looking for likes. You're already losing. You've already missed the message.
And let's touch on that being a student because
don't get me started.
Part of success is actually having the ability to learn.
Don't get me started.
So touch on that. I'm gonna have you jump into. Let's touch on that, Joey.
Touch on being a student.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't get into any industry thinking you know it all.
That is real.
First of all, people at the very top. So let's go back to the LeBron James. It's still going back to the older generation to learn how does that jump shot look. You see what I'm saying? How do you play ball with your back to the basket, or what can I do better to dribble this way, dribble with my left, whatever it is. See, everybody, no matter where you are, needs to be. If you have any kind of greatness in you, you have to be a student first. Okay. Before you're ever a parent, you're a child first. You see what I'm saying? Before there's levels to this. There's levels to this. But it took me a long time to understand that because being young with so much passion and so much energy and ambition, you just want to go out and do it all right now. I'll look, to whoever in the face and be like, look, I'm better than you. I can do it better than you, and I'm ready right now. I don't need to wait. I'm ready right now. But when I went to barber college, I was surrounded by a lot of cats who had been in the military, and when in their tours and going to Afghanistan and wherever they went, I was able to sit down and listen to them. It's like, look, look. This is what's really out there in the world, and there's a lot of stuff that you don't know. I know you came from Madison High School, and I know you were good, and a lot of people know you, but now you're a small fish in a very big pond, right? And so if you want to win, like my mom told me, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. So you have to wake up a little bit, become that student, become that mentee to learn what's really out here. Yeah. So in any industry, you see what I'm saying? Any business, whether it's Starbucks, McDonald's, MNC Salon Studios, Rockafellas, it doesn't matter. You first have to be a student before you can ever be at the top to teach anybody. And I learned, I'm gonna say this and I'll get out y'all way, but the greatest leaders are the ones who are able to duplicate themselves, right? So if you're able to duplicate yourself or replicate who you are and what you've learned, you're a great leader.
And passing it forward.
Right. Passing it on to the younger generation or to whoever comes after you, or even those who are before you. Those are the greatest leaders. Maya Angelou's and even the ones that were messed up. I'm talking about the Hitlers and the Constantine, whoever. When you're able to duplicate yourself, it's called influence. You see what I'm saying? And if you're doing it for the positive, you're doing it for the better, you're winning. You're winning already. And so being a student is all a part of it. You have to learn. And I tell the young guys that look up to me, I said, listen, I don't feel like I'm on some kind of level. I just feel like where I'm at in my life, I got here because I was able to listen to somebody who came before me and overstep a lot of the hurdles that are going to be in your way. You see what I'm saying? You have to be a student first. That's all. That's the name of the game. That's school of hard knocks. You got to go through being a student, doing the stuff that you really don't want to do, cutting the client's hair that get on your last nerves. Going to school and attending the classes where the instructor just gets on your last nerve. You got to do the hard stuff. I mean, even living in your parents' house, my mama got on my last nerve. You know what I'm saying? But before I can ever be a parent, to my son now, shout out to Zane, little Zane. But before I'm ever a parent, you have to listen. You have to be able to be humble and have some kind of humility in yourself if you ever want to be great.
And be Michele. It's smoke over here, but
I know, right? Look, I feel like I got to come after that. What wisdom can I bring after that one?
Well, don't stop me. Let me keep going.
Don't let her play. You've been educated for a while.
Come on.
So
and you're right. So as an educator, I feel like now I'm just I went from educating children and little people to now educating adults in a different, and sometimes it's the same thing.
Praise the Lord.
I know, right? Sometimes it's the same thing.
Wow.
Ouch.
Hallelujah.
One of them commandments.
But I will say you're right. Here's I will speak from my experience and my path. Like when I started my business, a lot of it I was trial and error, and I had to learn on my own. And a lot of people, and that's why I do what I do now, because to help keep someone from having to learn on their own and spending all the money that I spent that I wish I could have back now. The thousands of dollars.
Real quick. I had a cool guy, older gentleman, told me this week, experience is what we don't want other people to have.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I want you to have experience. I just want you to have a better experience than I had.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because here's the thing. This is why learning is important, and this is why your parents always say, "Hey, wait till you have kids of your own, and then you'll see." That whole scenario.
Because they're speaking from their experience.
Right. Yeah. So I'm speaking from my experiences. I want you to have a better shot. I want you to start out your business in a different way than I started mine. Like, and there's nothing wrong with a ground up. I'm not saying that you don't build your business, but here's some tidbits that I wish I had.
Come on.
When I landed in San Antonio trying to start an event planning business. So, all the people that I know right now, I wish I knew them in 2013 and 2014, honestly, to really help take the things I wish I could have done. Right. So that's what I'm saying. So as sometimes you do have to learn the hard way. And it's not, it's obviously it's the path nobody wants to go on.
Yeah. It's required though.
It's required.
But you must.
So there is some of that that is required for you to go down that path and learn some things the hard way. But you don't have to learn everything. That's where being a good student comes in. So if somebody's there really trying to help you, so you have to have a good level of discernment to know when somebody really is truly trying to help you versus when somebody just in your business,
right?
Situation. So knowing somebody really is trying to school you and give you game on what to do, so you don't have to be 10 days getting this done, or a month getting this done when so and so already did it, or if I already did it, I already wrote it down for you. So I'm trying to help you not take a month getting your business set up. Or not take 2 months getting your first client. Because to be honest with you, when the show that I did at Resurrection, that was like my first, and that was my introduction to San Antonio. But I want to say it was well after that I actually really got my first client. So it wasn't until almost a good year to where I really actually got my first paying client. But I stuck it out. I kept going to networking events. I kept meeting people. I kept doing whatever I had to do to get it to where it was. And now there's like I'm not gonna say there's an easier path, but now there's a better way to build business and get clients, especially when you're new to a city. So since I've done the whole new somewhere and only know 2 people, I've been like, I could definitely now put you up on game on how to build your business a lot quicker when you move to a city where you don't know anybody. And depending on what it is. So I think as a student, and I have people that I look up to, like sometimes I'll call my mother, I'll call my family members who are entrepreneurs, and like they'll tell me, and I'll say, what should I do about this? Like I said, sales is not my thing. So I always call my mother and I'll say, hey, what do you think I should do about this? Or she'll vice versa call me about some other stuff, that I'm good at. And so it's still about having that support and having somebody that you can kind of bounce off of and learn from. So I have mentors, and I tell everybody, I think in my last post a couple of days ago was about, do you have a business mentor? Everybody should, even if they're not in your industry, you should seek out somebody that's willing to be your mentor as a business owner. That is really crucial, because it's a lot of game out here that we're not getting because we're in our own way and we're blocking our own blessings. Like I've watched people block their blessings right in my face. And it was like when you start setting up your own roadblocks, there's nothing I can do for you, because you got to really get yourself and put yourself in a position to be a student and to be able to receive the information that somebody telling you.
I like that.
So you got to know the difference when somebody's there to help you versus somebody that's just trying to be in your business. So there's a thin line between helping and constructive criticism and hating. You got to know the difference as a student. So
that's gonna be an episode for next week.
So I'm just saying, it's like I talk to all the people that I met over the years. Now I say, hey, what you think about this? Like I love the fact that I now got people that I trust in my circle that I met, that I can shoot out an idea to and know it ain't gonna show up.
Right.
I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying? So, keeping your circle together where you can say, hey, look at this flyer. What you think about it? Or look at this, I put this together. Give me your feedback about it and know that it's going to be okay. And like you say, and it ain't going to show up next week.
And they tag you.
and they tag you. So
hold up.
So just creating that environment and creating people in your life to where that you can learn from, because everybody has something you can take. You can take something from everybody. And that's the thing. You just take what you take what you can, and you leave the rest. And that's why it always kills me how people go on social media and Instagram with they crazy little opinions about a situation. Like, hey, the guy or the girl just saying X, Y, and Z. Take from it what works for you and leave the rest. You don't have to bash a person or be crazy.
Exactly.
Just take what you need.
The people that are sitting up there bashing and or have anything negative to say are discontent within themselves. And
Totally.
Part of being a student, if we're talking about this generation, if we're just being 100% honest, get off social media. And part of, like you said, having that, finding that mentor is being able to look yourself in the face and say, this is my weak area, and identify that. You see what I'm saying? And grind hard and work hard to improve in that area. But first, it takes getting off social media. When you see Migos and all these Future and and any of these gospel artists, whoever's out there, Kiki Sheard and all them who have acquired much success, you thinking they just got there just because they're good. Well, no, there's a lot of greats that never were. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But it takes knowing yourself to get off Instagram, stop looking at the, like I said, the glitz and the glamour, and recognize your weak points, your weak areas, before you can ever make improvements in your own life.
And that's real, because the thing about this, like this, how I said, selling is not my thing. I'm not a salesperson. So I know I'm good at what I do, and that's all I can tell you, that I'm good at what I do, and here it is. Right. Like, I don't have no magic formula or no little script, no speech, because I'm not cut that way. Like, so that's not how I get it done. Right. But what I can do, I can talk you straight, I can look you straight in your face and be like, hey, you tell me your situation, business or whatever, I can tell you how I can fix it. And here it is.
That's true.
You're a doctor.
And done deal. So it's like, I think sometimes we have to remember that even through entrepreneurship is that there's a learning curve. At every step of the way, there's a serious learning curve from when you go from making your first dollar to you hit that 5-figure mark to that 6-figure mark, because your life is changing at that 5-figure mark.
Yeah.
And so this is one thing I always tell people that, definitely be ready for your life to change. Like, honestly, be ready to lose some people, be ready to gain some people.
That's good.
Because if you're doing it right, you're going to lose a lot of people.
That's right. Right.
I'm sorry. Let me not say that.
That's true.
Let me not say that.
No.
But honestly, if you're doing it right, the right people, that's your day ones will be your day ones, no matter if you got $2 or $2,000.
Or $2 billion.
Or $2 billion, honestly. But in this life of entrepreneurship, you have, especially when you're serious about it, because everybody's not going to be cheering for you. And you got to be okay with that.
That's real.
That's real.
Like, honestly, so you got to wake up every morning and do you, no matter what. And it's just like, I feel like right now at the age that I've gotten, I don't even know if this is my age, but I will say this is my mindset more than my age or anything. Oprah, somebody did an interview with Oprah, and she posted, and her comment was, the older you get, the less BS you take. And I was like, yes. Like, yes. Like, I really thought about that. He's like, you're right. Like, honestly, when you just get to a certain point, just in business, I don't chase clients.
Right.
I'm not chasing you. Like, once I put it out there, hey, I might do a follow-up.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not chasing you. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just too much. And I think in every industry, once you put your processes in place, and that's a lot, and you got to have processes. And once you put your processes in place, you set the tone for how your business runs.
Right.
That's good.
Your clients don't set the tone, and and it's a hard thing you have to explain to people. When you go to Walmart, you go pick up your items, you pay, you walk out. You don't tell Walmart when you gonna pay their bill.
Right.
Let me test it first.
Right. Can I get a sample?
Right.
Can I eat that bean burrito first and make sure it's good?
like I know, like, you don't get to go, you don't walk down now. Okay, now except for the fruit aisle, because you probably do grab a couple grapes. You don't just get to go home Walmart and Target and like, let me take this home
She said
and
the
see
fruit aisle.
You might have to grab a couple grapes. The produce, yeah, grab a couple grapes. That it is stealing. So even though it's 1 or 2, it's still stealing, but don't do it. But like, honestly, I know, right? But real talk though, it's like, I just say it with graphic design, because while we putting stuff out in the air, like, I cannot have my designer design something for you to tell me you don't like it, and then you don't want to pay for it. But you want me to design the whole thing, and then for you to tell me you don't like it. It don't work that way.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, you, as a business owner, you set the tone for how your business runs and how your clients, your interaction with them. They don't get to dictate how you run your business.
That's true.
In a sense. Now, they do dictate how elements of it, because you need the feedback from them. Say, hey, how'd y'all like this? Hey, how'd y'all like that? In that sense. But the overall structure of your business, you have to become, because it's yours, and you got to run it as efficient as you can. and what works for you.
Yeah.
So just that was a free game right there.
That's true.
yeah.
I like that.
Man, I feel like you should have charged for that one. That was really good.
All right, I'm gonna see you this invoice when I get to the office.
That was a good golden nugget right there. Jordan McCook, what you got for that?
I mean,
As far as just owning what you're doing and setting the tone.
owning what you're doing, setting the tone. I never look at myself as a startup business or some young entrepreneur, even though I am. I look at McCook & Co. just like I look at Starbucks, or just like I look at Ozarka, or whatever, Paul Mitchell, or Salons by JC, whatever it is. I look at myself that way, and I perform at that optimum level. See, the difference is a lot of people want you to look at them that way, but they don't want to perform at that level.
Say
they
that.
don't want to bring that level of professionalism to the table. You see what I'm saying?
You need to charge for that too.
Say that.
No, that's real.
That's
like
good.
I said, social media got this generation going crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Our generation don't even know what kind of bills you got to pay in starting a business, or what kind of overhead you have.
How to write a resume.
All that kind of stuff. You have to learn that kind of stuff. But we wanna look the part. But at the core of it all, what kind of substance do you really bring to the table? You see what I'm saying? But if you are bringing that substance, you should not look at yourself any less than these companies, these multi-billion-dollar companies, million-dollar companies out here in the world. I don't look at what I do, me as a motivational speaker, any different than E.T. the hip hop preacher, or Justin Owens, or anybody else that's out there, Dave Ramsey. I'm right. I'm that's me. That's the level I prepare myself at. You know what I'm saying? When I lose sleep just like the next man. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like the next man. I'm reading books and I'm studying just like the next man. But see, it's not just about that. See, a lot of people, you absorb a lot of information and you know a lot about business, but like we talked about earlier, now it's time to perform.
Yep.
And that's where the competition comes into place. You have to perform. Like, I just watched this young lady do this haircut right here. And this haircut is so dope. You know what I mean? Like, it's like so fire right now. I don't even know her name. But it started somewhere. And like I said, it's levels to this. You see what I'm saying? Like, it started somewhere, and it was praise the Lord, brother. It was nappy when he came in, but he walking out clean. You know what I'm talking about? It's clean now. She putting the juices and the berries in it, and it's clean. You see what I'm saying? But you have to perform.
Yeah.
You have to. Everybody starts at that nappy stage. But what are you going to do to get it to this level right here? This brother's ready for a photo shoot.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's time. You have to perform. And so
I know, right?
We're gonna have to show everybody. But they like, what are you talking about? But no, really, I don't look at myself any different than who the people deem as the greats. You see what I'm saying? When I look at my business and how I carry myself, you see what I'm saying? I want to be carry myself at that optimum, maximum, great level, and so I'm gonna perform at that level every single day. And it requires those kind of strong-minded people. It's not for the faint of heart.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not for people who you there one day and you're not there the next day. No, you have to perform at that level every single day. And I set the standard. I set the precedence for my business. I am setting it with my level of professionalism, with my quality that I'm putting out. You see what I'm saying? And this generation has a lot of swag but no substance.
Ooh.
A lot of swag but no substance. We got the gold chains, and praise the Lord, I just got mine. So I'm feeling some kind of way. But gold chains and nice shoes and cars and all this kind of stuff, but you have no substance. What books have you read? What class have you attended?
That's good, man.
You see what I'm
We
saying?
ain't gonna go there. We're not gonna go there right now. Is that where we going right now?
This is confirmation, because me and B. Michele just, like, what was it, 2 episodes ago, we was talking about prerequisites.
Yeah.
Before you get to the next
It's
level.
levels
You gotta
to
master
this.
this
It's
one.
levels to this, man. It's levels. And life will humble you, bruh.
All right, this podcast is going long for a reason, because I'm going to call this episode Dear Entrepreneur.
Come on.
Yeah.
With B. Michele and Jordan McCook.
All right, I'm going to be quiet.
Because, man,
the class, yes.
this is too good. I'm going to have to just bring y'all back, because we did go over.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm
done
sorry,
already?
I'm sorry to the listeners that we went over, man. I don't mean to cut this short, but
Okay.
I'm gonna let B. Michele have one last word. And
Okay,
we'll wrap
Rico,
this thing up.
your phone. I was sending him the 10 Commandments.
I got it.
Okay, y'all need to read them. Can I see your phone?
You want to read?
Yeah. Could I send them to you so I could so we could go through them just really quick?
See, while he's doing that, I'm gonna just give a quick shout out to our sponsors real quick. Shout out to Baby McClinton of Sports, Speed and Conditioning, allsportsfitness.net, and Miss Kim, River City Donuts, the best donuts in San Antonio.
Yeah, that donut was good today. It hit the spot. It hit the spot.
You want the rest of it?
Yes, I'm gonna eat the rest of it. Shout out to my frat brother Marcel and his nonprofit Eleve.
Yeah.
So he's doing great things, recognizing ordinary people for their greatness. So can't wait to help him with his project that's coming. It's in the Facebook Messenger. I sent it. So these 10 commandments, I feel like we gotta say them. Since we kind of started.
We're rolling the Grammys music.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Yes, sir, Jordan.
I just got a new photographer, Alexis. She goes by Alexis Morgan, and she is killing it. She's in Baltimore, Maryland right now. She's brushing up on her skills and getting sharp on them, video recording, all that kind of stuff. So Alexis Morgan, one of the best photographers.
She has a website?
She has a website. It's called Alexis Photography. I'm not too sure what it is.
Social media too?
Yes, on social media you can find her at alexis.morgan.
Where's she located at?
She's here in San Antonio. She's here.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can follow her on Instagram. Matter of fact, my Instagram, Jordan_McCook. You can find her. I just posted a picture. Dope photo shoot at the Grand Hyatt. It was really dope. So
make sure you guys go out and support.
That's what's up. I'm gonna have to get her contact info too. Okay, so here go these 10 commandments real quick, and I know we gotta go.
Grammy music going.
I know, right? So thou shalt not start a business without LLC. Okay. We had that one. Thou shalt not commingle funds, meaning get a business bank account.
Sweet.
That was my. Thou shalt not conduct business without a bookkeeping software. Get QuickBooks, FreshBooks. I mean something.
Get a book.
Get a book.
Facebook.
Get a book, not Facebook. No.
A bookkeeper.
A bookkeeper or bookkeeping software. So the other one, thou shalt not run a cash only business.
All right.
We talked about that one. Thou shalt not use Facebook only to advertise.
Gotcha.
Like, come on, let's grow. Let's really grow our businesses past Facebook. Thou shalt not take checks from people you don't know.
I accept those.
Money orders.
From people you don't know, though.
Send
You
all
gotta
the
be quick,
checks
though.
this way.
You gotta be quick.
Yeah, so they're the backstory to that one, so we'll have to talk about that one later.
Deposit all those.
You know it. Stop it, Jordan.
I need mine on time.
But mind you, people you don't really know.
Don't know.
See, Jordan over here, we're not going to even acknowledge that right now. No, stop it. Okay, so thou shalt invest in a website for your business. Thou shall invest in a
blogger?
website.
Not shall not.
Can't do a blogger.
You can do a blogger, but you should still get a website. Like, come on. Thou shalt not assume everyone is your client, because they're not. Everybody's not for you. And then thou shalt not start a business without doing research. So those are the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
I like that.
So the master class on the 10 commandments coming soon. We're gonna really develop this thing.
Put out your social media and your huddle.
Yes.
That's
okay.
sweet.
So every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Be Michele, BEE like the insect, Michele MICHELE. Join us on Facebook Live for the huddle where we talk about different business and branding topics. Next Tuesday is cash flow, how to increase your cash flow, part 2. We had part 1 last Tuesday. You can watch the replay. It's up on my page. Follow us at Coach B Michele on Facebook, Coach B Michele on Twitter, and Coach B Michele on Instagram, and B Michele Professional Services. I know we got a lot of pages, but follow us. We got some good stuff coming out. Also, real quick, I probably won't be back until by this one, but Connections. So that's our new project. The Connections Networking Mixer is come network a different way. Come network a different way. We got a great mixer at the Brooklynite March the 8th in San Antonio. We're thinking about adding a second location, just playing with that idea possibly. But March 8th, we launch Connections Networking Mixer. March 8th.
March 1st, you'll be back.
Oh, I'll be back March 1st. Okay, so yeah, we can talk about it then too. But just in case y'all don't catch it, March 8th, the Brooklynite Connections Networking Mixer in the huddle every Tuesday, 7 p.m.
That's sweet.
Come see me. Holla at me.
Holla at him.
Well, guys, I hate to cut it short, but we're going to have to bring them again for sure to give you guys some more knowledge and new updates too as well. So this is a big thank you to B Michele, Coach B Michele,
Thank
and Mr.
you.
Jordan McCook.
If you don't know, now you know.
And you know what? That's why we have this platform. We support all businesses. Rockafellas, our partner since day one. But hey, Jordan, if they want a haircut at your place too, tell them where you're located.
We're located 12414 Nacogdoches Road, Suite 150. If you would like a haircut, all my booking is done online at www.styleseed.com/Jordan McCook. If you don't want a haircut, you want to hear some dope motivational speaking where I'm touching more hearts than his, meet us March 4th at Ogle Cosmetology School at 12 noon to 2 o'clock, where we're going to be tearing it up, and I'm going to be pouring my heart out, talking about branding, marketing, and fading, and giving you guys keys to success. So that's where we'll be. March 4th. And we got some new shirts out. McCook & Co. Salon Studios, beauty, creativity, new shirts, $10. Come see me. You can't beat
that.
It.
Is
$15. I'm sorry, $15.
That is how you brand your business right there. So you guys, want to thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Everyone on iHeart Radio who's been showing so much love. Shout out to the 9 countries listening to the Refocused Podcast. We're going to put all businesses in San Antonio globally. So
yes, sir.
Till we meet again, like I always say, God bless. Keep them first and stay focused.
Stay focused.